live stream. Today is a very special live stream. We are looking forward to having two amazing guests on here today. But welcome everybody, and let me know in the chat if you're just joining us. And we're gonna read out a few names and go over a few quick housekeeping things as we usually do. But we are looking forward to today's stream. So welcome everybody. And once again, if you've not checked out our guests already, if you've not subscribed, be sure to do so. I know our mods will be posting the link as well. Awesome. So another quick note that if for some reason I lose connection, we're going to try to get that sorted away. I think it's going to hold, but in the event I lose a connection today, which is a higher chance than it's usually been, we are going to try to get that sorted out, and I will try to come right back in. Just wanted to give everybody a little heads up. But welcome in, everybody. We have Rob Wiska, LSU Mom, Disney Fan 65, Donna Jaworski, let's see, John Morgan and Miss Gee. Welcome in, Samantha. Welcome in, Christine Hickman. Horizons 18, welcome in, Liam. Welcome in. And I know Jack, welcome in. And I know some more people will be joining us here in just a few minutes. But a few quick housekeeping things we would like to go over as always before we begin. Is that we want to thank our channel members. Channel members, thank you so much for your support to the channel. As always, we are working on a new way to kind of shout out members without having to go through the entire list necessarily. So for right now, while I am working on that new way, we want to say thank you, channel members. We really appreciate your support. For those who want to join a membership, they are 100% optional. You never have to feel obligated. You watching the channel and supporting is just enough. We also have new merchandise. It is available in the description of the video. The Hakuna Matata design that I mentioned on my Disney Springs stream was taken down because I had to fix one more thing on it. So that's down right now. And face masks are coming. I'm working on getting those up soon. And also we want to thank our frontline workers for their tremendous support right now during these uncertain times. We really do appreciate it. Let me go back to the chat, say hey to a few more people, and then we will get our guests in here. If you're just joining, by the way, share out the stream. Let us know you're here. And one more time, if for some reason I lose connection, I'm going to come right back, but I think it's going to stick. I think it's going to be good. So welcome Rob Fuzz as well. Welcome in. Mar, welcome in. Let's see, Todd B, Tiki Man fan. Awesome. So once again, share out the stream if you're just joining us. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I say we just get right into it. So as always, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're ready to bring our special guests in. They're going to be coming in one way or the other. So, but give us a thumbs up in the chat if you're ready, and we will get rocking and rolling on this show. If you've not already checked out our special guests, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title, they are the Viapree Project. Ed and Mindy have an amazing channel, and we're going to get to know how it started, where it is today, et cetera, et cetera. We have a whole lot to talk about here, and not enough time, though. Anna, welcome in as well. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'm starting to see some thumbs ups coming in. So let's get started. And everybody, please welcome Ed and Mindy of the Viapree Project. Ed and Mindy, how are you guys?
Hi. We're doing great, Nick. Thank you so much for having us on. This is so special.
Thanks for
it really is.
So let's just start right out. Let's just start from the beginning. How did the Viapree Project begin? Where did the idea come from? How did you just one day say, I want to start a YouTube channel, or I'm going to start posting these videos? How did that begin?
Well, I mean, first off, thank you again. Like, this is like phenomenal. I love what you're doing, Nick. You know, we're really honored that you've asked us to be on the show. Usually we're not the ones being interviewed. Usually we're the ones asking the questions. So it's really cool. But how we got started, we were at Disney one day, and I remember we were walking down Main Street, and we would always like take pictures and record our family experiences, but we'd always keep it on like a tape or something, like, we would store it somewhere and never really do anything with it, So I remember walking down Main Street one day, and I was looking at just families and looking at my family, which is me, Mindy, and Jordan at the time. Yeah. And I was just remembering saying, wow, we come here so much. We want to capture these moments, but what am I doing with these moments? We're not doing anything. Mm-hmm. So I said, I want to force myself to take that footage. I want to edit it, and I want to put it on YouTube, but it was just merely for us personally to enjoy and our friends and our family. So because they know that we're a Disney family, so they're always wanting to know what we do. So
and something for the kids to go back onto when they were older, that they can look back and say, hey, that was us.
Yeah, because there's so many, we look back now, like, we were doing some shows before, and they're asking what do you remember when you were with your childhood memories. Now our kids have the ability to actually go back and watch it. So we started it pretty much like that. We wanted to just capture those moments and share them with our friends and our family. And that's how we started the Viapree project.
That's awesome. And yeah, as you were saying, your kids can go back on it. It's literally as easy as them clicking an app or loading the website, and they get to watch videos of themselves. And it's, some of these vloggers will have videos of their kids from the day they're born until, when they're growing up. So it's crazy, and it's something that they're going to love looking back at one day for sure. So a question, I usually don't have like certain questions that I like to ask people, but I have a question for you guys because it's interesting for me. So your kids, Evan and Jordan, and I've been watching you guys for a very long time, and I've seen Evan grow up so much. And when you guys had your, as you call it, a hiatus, which we'll talk about that too. I was like, geez, he got big, he got older. So are they? I guess if the word is cognitive, are they understanding that you have a YouTube channel? Like, do they know like they're going live or they're filming, or are they just not really sure of what you're doing?
Jordan knows.
Okay.
Jordan is very aware of our channel and what we do. She knows. She loves to come on Hangouts with us and play game night with us when we do. And she wants her own channel. We're still a little, she's 9. So, but she is. Evan, not so much.
Evan,
he's 3, and so he, we tell him, okay, you have to stay in the family room and you have to watch TV. Shh, be quiet.
Yeah,
it works. So.
But Jordan loves the Viapree project. Like she show. So for her, she talks about it. Her friends at school know about us, and. Just people that were around, she's excited. I would play around with her, but I would say, baby girl, do you want me to ever stop the Viapree project? She'd be like, no, daddy, no. So
that's awesome. Yeah. And I know I've seen Jordan I've seen that she loves the game nights, and it's something where the game nights, and we're going to talk about Hangouts here. It kind of puts you out of like you don't have to think about the stream for a minute. You're thinking about the game, and I've seen your chats are very interactive with your games. They really like playing along with it. So it's very cool what you guys are doing Hangouts, and we'll talk about that here soon. So you guys, did you start out with just vlogs? Did you do both live streams? How did what were your videos starting out as?
That's a great question, Nick. So when we started the Viapree project, right away, I wanted to continue learning editing and using my editing skills. This is what I do when I do these videos and stuff. It's not normal. It's not a natural gift that I would say it started off with. So I wanted to learn how to edit, and because I thought it would be really cool to do that. So we started off with just edited videos. And what I would do is I would take our vacation video or the footage, cut it down, and I would try to pick like a song or a specific music, and I would try to fit it in, just like kind of like a musical montage, a video montage of what we had our experience at the parks or wherever that may be. So we started off with that. Then I remember, when was it? It was our, we were going to do a giveaway. It was a giveaway.
We were giving away something.
We were doing a giveaway, and I remember like YouTube just had started off with this live streaming like thing. And I was like, you know what? We're in the park. Let's go live real quick, just to say, hey, I don't know.
See what happens.
And we were. I think we had maybe 100 subscribers, at that point. It was nothing, and
or maybe it was to get 100 subscribers, or like if.
I think we were giving away because we were giving away something for like I think 100 subscriber, 200 subscriber, something like that. And I remember when we went live and we saw people actually watch this live. I was like, oh snap it! Somebody's talking to me in the chat. This is so cool, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, somebody's watching. And so we said, you know what, that's kind of cool. Let us, maybe once in a while we'll do a live stream here and there. And then what happened was we made a SeaWorld video, and our SeaWorld video got pretty active on YouTube, and to the point where SeaWorld actually contacted us to get the rights for our video.
Wow.
And when that happened, our channel kind of started to skyrocket. We had a little bit of momentum at that time. So people knew us more for the editing videos, those type of videos that we make, because it looks kind of commercialist, type style. That's just the style I do. But then we started doing more live streams later on, and then live streams kind of took over. We have all these different shows now. We do more live streaming than we do more edited videos. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
So you're mainly just in live stream right now. You're not doing as many videos.
I would have to say we're primarily a live streaming. We're definitely going to be doing those videos still. I want to make sure that we're doing at least 2 to 3 special videos a year.
Just to keep the vision of what we started with. This originally was for the kids, so we still want them to have those memories. So
we'll still have vlogs. We'll still have our special project videos that when like I'll do a highlight of a park or something like that, or we might do like a character study or like a legend, like a figure, or what we do for Walt Disney.
Oh, okay.
Like that,
It's like,
this
is new.
Yeah, no, but something like that. We I'll do something like that. So that's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I've known you said many times in your streams that you'll watch a stream, you watch every one of your streams over again.
I do.
You watch every stream at least twice, basically.
Yes.
At least twice.
So why do you do it? Because I don't watch my streams over. I don't like hearing my own voice.
I don't either.
Me neither.
I don't either. I don't like hearing my voice either. But the only way for me to grow, I feel for me, I can't speak for Mindy, but it's not to because we were just on the show. I don't need to rewatch it again. Sure. But I just make sure that if there's things that I can change, that habits that maybe I have, things that I'm saying that are distracting. I would try to read the chat to make sure, if people, maybe it's something I need to be aware of, things like that. A lot of it too is also technical difficulties. So sometimes we don't know, maybe we're glitching, we're not glitching, so I'm very much a quality control type person. So I want to make sure that whatever we're putting out is the best that I have control over. So that's the reason why we watch it again. Yeah,
and that's a great. Many people don't. I'll admit it. I don't really watch my streams over. So that's a great thing. Did we lag at this point? Did something happen at this point? It's a great thing you guys are doing there.
Yeah, thank you.
So you guys have this motto for your channel, which is dream big, do big things. How did that begin? Where did that come into play? Because I remember the video. I think it was a video where you guys announced like that tagline, if you will. Where did that begin for you guys?
We have always had the motto, do big things. It's always just been I can't even remember how long ago it started. It's just, if we're going to do something, we're going to do it right and we're going to do it big. And so that's just the way we live life. And I don't even really know how Dream Big came around. I guess when you started your John Maxwell stuff, he's a John Maxwell consultant who's all about, reaching your full potential and finding what your dreams are. And when he went through that, he really birthed the passion about chasing dreams and inspiring others to catch their dream. And you go, I don't want to speak for you.
It's okay. You did a great job, right? I mean, no, I think the dream big thing really that part was the Disney part of it. Because I really look up to Walt, and I watch some of his documentaries and things like that. And for you to be at the caliber of somebody like that, you have to dream big. And in order to dream big, that's one part of it, but you also have to have an action with it.
Right.
So we already have the action as the Viapree project, but we need to make sure that we always dream big. We always have, we don't want to be held down because of other people's may say things that you can't do it. No, we can do it because we believe we can. So that's
Absolutely.
what I would say.
And you guys have 2 main shows, if you will, for your channel. One of them, which I'm proud to have been on,
Yes.
Sessions. So where did you, and I remember when you guys started Sessions, I remember the very first ones with Adam and Brett, the Wall twins. And where did Sessions begin for you guys? How did that begin, and what made you do it? And tell me about Sessions.
Well, Sessions, it's funny now that I'm thinking about it. When the first concept was when we started the live streaming, we were a part of this community that we're in right now. It wasn't as big as it is now, but it was a lot smaller. And Nick, you were a part of it, ever since the beginning.
Yeah.
And I remember when we started meeting all these incredible channels. I thought it would have been an awesome opportunity for them to be able to tell their story, just like what we're doing right now. I mean, this is pretty much like Sessions, right?
Yeah.
So it's for them to tell their story, to highlight their channel, what they do, and to also network. I think it's awesome to be a part of something, not just being alone, but being together with the community. And I thought Sessions would be a great opportunity for us. I love talking to people. I love getting to know. I think stories are so important to, and I thought Sessions would be really cool. And we would and also give you that feeling of, wow, like if you work so hard on the channel, imagine when somebody can see how much you work, and they can spend, I spend hours on Sessions. I mean, it's not like, I spend 8, 10, 12 hours downloading people's videos. I make custom videos, and I make sure I research your whole, and so I do that because I feel like, one, it honors the person, because I care about your craft. I care about how much you put in and invest into your channel. So if I can showcase that, I think that's what the whole concept of Sessions was. I remember when you didn't like the name Sessions at first.
I didn't.
I remember that.
I don't remember why.
I don't know why you didn't like Sessions, but I was like, no, we're gonna stick with it. It's good.
So where did the name Sessions come from? Huh?
His brain.
Just my brain. I'm not. I'm one of those guys that I could come up with ideas real quick. And I'll bounce it off of her because she's more logical. I'm the dreamer. She's the keep me in check person. But the Sessions I thought was just a good name. I thought it was just cool, and it stuck. And I tried some other names, but I kept defaulting back to Sessions.
That's what happens. We'll throw each other names and ideas, and if we keep defaulting back to the one, we know that's what it is.
It's the one. So, and you have another kind of like main series, if you want to different things come off of it, which is Hangouts. So where did the idea for Hangouts come? So Hangouts, I feel, is more like a laid back show. It's not a professional, if you will.
Exactly.
Where did the idea for Hangouts come? Whose idea was it, or why do you do it? Tell me about Hangouts.
I would say Hangouts came. We were both talking about this time around, coming back from the channel, coming back this year. We used to only stream once or twice a month, right?
Robert.
We used to only do once or twice a month. It would be Sessions was once a month at that time, and we would always do edited videos. So and we would do a Hangout once in a while before, but we realized this coming back. I want to make sure that we're available for the community. We wanted to have a weekly presence. So that weekly presence was going to be a Hangouts, but still be able to bring people onto the show and just having a fun hangout. But now we've actually expanded Hangouts, to where it's at now with multiple lineups of Hangouts, different show styles. And actually it is a little bit where, I know we're saying it's not as the professional like Sessions, but I still do a lot. I'm always working and tweaking Hangouts,
Mostly what brought it about is we wanted to interact with the chat more. On sessions, we're talking to the interviewee, whoever we bring on, we're interacting with, that person, and we weren't really, minus the questions that the chat was throwing at us, we weren't interacting with the chat. Like right now, I see all these comments, and we wanted to make sure that we were talking to the people and they were talking back to us, and it was something fun. So that's how it started. And then, this one's the dreamer, and he has to grow and make mini TV series out of it.
So within Hangouts, I know you had one on last Tuesday with talking about pin trading with Donna.
Donna's here. You're the best. Donna, you're awesome.
We still are talking about that stream here.
I actually saw Donna earlier today, and she was like, "I can't wait there. I love Ed and Mindy." So
we love her. She's awesome.
So where did the idea? Because I know Hangouts is kind of like a sit down, interact with the chat. And I know you guys do the game nights as well. Where did the idea, though, to branch off into like the Lego series and the Disney Parks series, and then more into the Disney Parks series? You have the pins, resorts, et cetera, et cetera. Where did the idea come up with to expand Hangouts into so many different shows?
That great question. This is we've talked about pins for a long time as a family. And we tried it, and it worked. And all these other segments or shows, I just felt like I wanted to do more. Like for me to have Hangouts was just fun, but I like to try new things, and especially with the community. So when we thought about the pin trading this time around, we were like, I'm not going to do shows just because I know everything and we know everything. Because honest, we don't. We don't know everything, especially when it comes to park. That's why we watch you, Nick. We watch you because you give us all the news. You give us the park info. That's not our forte. People are not going to come to us for that. So I said, how awesome would it be if we had these shows that we are actually learning along with the people, we're learning along with the chat. So I want to learn more about Disney pin trading. So why not get the experts on that I know that are in our community that are phenomenal, and let's learn together, and we can ask the questions together. Same thing with Disney Parks. We love Disney Parks. I mean, I would say on average, I know a lot more than the average person in our circle, like our personal circle, our friends and stuff. But when it comes to the Disney community, I mean, Nick, you're an expert. Resort TV One, these are all experts, So we have to lean on your expertise in order for us to just enjoy the parks. So why not have you come on the show and we talk and teach us and learn together? So that's why we came up with these different shows. The Lego show, same thing. Lego's a new concept. We found the love of Lego for our family. It started off small, and it just all of a sudden became overwhelming. And to where we understand now that Lego is probably a core hobby of what we do as a Viapree project. And we want to be able to, the Viapree project is about sharing our experiences with you. So if we can have these shows that whatever we're experiencing can translate to the viewer, that is exactly what we're going to do. So that's why these new shows are very important to us.
Yeah, for sure. So you have Hangouts, you have sessions, you also have kind of like a second channel, if you will, Moments. So my big question, and we're going to talk about a few more things. What's next for the Viapree project?
Don't ask that question, Nick. I'm getting tired.
I'm tired too.
I know.
All his ideas. Oh my goodness.
What's next for the Viapree project? That is very good, Nick. Honestly, I don't know. I want to say I have a plan. I want to say I have a plan, but I'll tell you what we are looking at is just making sure we do have a momentum right now, I think, which is really cool. So I just want to make sure that we're continuing to do what we feel is right in a moment.
Right.
I think that is what we are very sensitive to. We don't want to present things that is not us. Right. We don't want to start initiatives that's going to take us away from our initial goal.
Right.
So I think for us right now, I think we're in a good rhythm. We found a great rhythm, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna stay where we're at. That's just not how we've been as a Viper project. We've always been trying to make sure that we not reinvent ourselves, but maybe to a little bit of a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But you always got to improve. You can't always be the same channel you were a year or a year and a half from now. You've got to move with the trends. You've got to move with the times, and you've got to try new things. So we will continue, and I'll guarantee we will continue to keep growing.
Sure.
But where we're heading now, only the Lord knows.
I mean, what's the point of having a motto, dream big, do big things, if we're going to stay where we're at?
Right.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, I think in part of 2019, and I think maybe I'm probably wrong, sometime in 2019, I know, you guys took, as you call it, a hiatus. You took a little break, which, you know, I've said it so many times, breaks are very good. They do you well. They recharge your batteries. I usually will stream, you know, once a week, but there was a time in November, I think it was, where I just took a month off. I literally just took a month where I didn't stream. I recharged my batteries and I got back into it. So you guys, you took this break, and I know you guys have said it did you very well, and you had a big like ceremony, if you will. You had a stream called The Return.
Yeah.
So tell me about your break. Did it teach you things? Did it help you with your channel? How was that for you?
You know, Nick, I have to say, it started in 2018, towards the end of 2018.
Sure.
We took I think it was after Road Trip Dave's session.
Mm-hmm.
We came off a pretty rough time in our lives personally. We've been through a lot as far as like our families and things, just life. You know, everybody has their life stories.
Sure.
So I think at some point we just realized that we needed a break to just get, like you said, just to kind of just get your mind right, get things in perspective. So we did a hard cut. We just did a hard cut. We didn't tell anybody. We didn't tell anybody in the community. We just did it. And it was, in the moment, it was really good for us. But what I've realized is that we thought it was going to be maybe a few months here and there, and it turned out to almost being a year and a half. Believe it or not. Almost a year and a half we were gone. And what happens is when you're gone that long, first off, things start replacing what you let go. You know, so we let go of YouTube for that duration, but other things started replacing our attention in that time. And you know, I'm not saying they were bad, but I knew that Viper Project was a long haul commitment for our family. But in a way, we got so caught up being off for that long that you got so used to it, then it was so hard. I'm like, you start second guessing yourself. So like, we've been gone that long, the community, we've been absent from the community, and presence is everything in a community. Oh, yeah. So us not being a part of that and being in a community and seeing it grow that big, I almost felt like we won't be accepted again. You know, like people won't really want us back on, or they wouldn't even, who are we, right? Sure. But I had to get over that perspective to know that, you know what, we have a plan as a family that we want to make sure that we're communicating and set up. We can't have any fear. We have to just do it. So by saying, you know, we're coming back in February, I would recommend if you're going to take a break, if you have that in your mind, I would say that break can turn into forever. You know, you have to really be strong to say, I'm just taking a break for a little while and then coming back. If not, it's going to take over and you would just not come back. So I made sure in February, when we came back for our return, that we were going to come back strong. We're going to come back fighting. We're going to come back and not leave this time, you know, not take a break because we love our community.
So one thing it taught us is how to do YouTube right for our family and our schedule, because that was a lot of the conversation coming back to this is, okay, we don't want YouTube to consume our life, because that's kind of what was happening before is it was every weekend we were doing something YouTube and we didn't have time to have life. So we really had a lot of conversations about, okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make it successful and quality and content, but not be overwhelming? And it's like all we're doing is YouTube. So one of the things that I kept coming back to in our discussions is we have to remember our why. Why are we doing YouTube? What's the goal that we have for the content that we're putting out and the interaction we're having with our community? And then if we come up with an idea, because he'll do every idea he comes up with, whether it's going to be successful or not, he's just going to try it. Let's do it. But that doesn't mean it's what we're supposed to be doing. So every time he comes up with an idea, I say, okay, stop. Now, does it go along with the why? Does it match up with why we're doing YouTube? Or is it just a fun idea we want to do? So if what we decide doesn't match up with our goals and with our why, then we don't do that idea. And we'll table it for a future time. So it really taught us the break, how to attack this correctly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we found a healthy rhythm. I would say we're in, and Nick, I got to be honest with you, we're doing more than we did.
Yeah, way more
when we first started, and we're feeling great about it because we figured out a really healthy rhythm, and it's just been working.
Absolutely. So would you say you're happy with where your channel is right now? Do you like, you like your content, you like what you're working with, or you like, well, I like what I'm doing, but I really want to build on it? Or are you just, as I said, are you happy with what you're doing right now?
I'm extremely happy. Extremely happy. He
dances around the house.
Yeah, I would dance. Like like the other day I was just dancing. I was loving it. When you're feeling like you're in a groove and you've got something going on, I love it. And I think that it really showed me that this might sound weird, but that I can do it. Like it gave me, when you do something and you start seeing, wow, I can do this, it gives you a energy jolt. So I love where we're going. I love the community. I love even from partner channels to meetups and everything about YouTube. That's all I watch is YouTube. This is all I do. And she's I watch YouTube, and this is what we are. Yeah.
I've heard so many people say they've disconnected their cable box. They don't have cable TV anymore because they just watch YouTube. YouTube's enough for them. So, YouTube's taking over. It's crazy.
Even our TV channels are from YouTube TV. So,
I know, right?
So during these shows, I always like to open up the chat for questions because I know our viewers are always anxious to ask questions. So we have a decent number of people in chat right now. If anybody has any questions, comments, feedback for Ed and Mindy, of course, feel free to ask it, and we will try to address as many as we can. But while they're submitting their questions, and I know they're going to come up with some amazing ones, as they blow me away with their questions, the chat. So if you had to pick, this might be a very hard question, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but if you had to pick sessions or hangouts, which one would it be?
Ooh.
If you had to get rid of one, like any or two.
Jeez.
Nick, that's a good question, man.
You can say both if you really want to, but I just want to hear, like, if you have a valuable reason for one or the other.
Nick, boy, that's a good
because they each have their own why.
They do.
I think we're gonna pick different ones.
I think we're gonna pick different ones. I think so. I'll let the ladies go first. Go ahead.
I would keep Hangouts.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
I would keep Hangouts just because for twofold. Because one, we get to interact with the community more. Everybody is a part of Hangouts, and two, I love to learn. I want to know and glean the information everybody else has. Like he says, we love Disney, but we're not the experts. We love Lego, but we're not the experts. Just watching Lego Masters alone, I had no idea that there were technical terms for building. So I want to learn about all that stuff, and I love interacting with the chat. I love the chat. Rob Fuzz today is cracking me up on this chat.
Yeah.
So that would be mine.
Yeah, I would have to say Sessions. You know, just because Sessions is where it kind of started as far as the live streaming. There's a history to Sessions, and it gives me. I love learning about other people's channels. I love bringing them on. I love asking the questions. I love the hot seat. You know, and we got to talk more about the hot seat.
Was already happening with Rob, Nick. You better.
You know, so you know, it's funny. It's funny you ask that question. You know, and but yeah, I guess. I would say I would keep Sessions.
Yeah, and Tina said it's like deciding between kids. You just can't.
It really is. It is.
That's a hard
they
one.
Have
wow.
Two different personalities, and
what a great question.
So let's start with some questions. And the first one, right off the bat, is Rob Fuzz, who's killing it in the chat today. He said, "When will there be a hot seat rematch between Magical News Live and Rob Fuzz?"
So we are in development stages of this because we want to bring something a little fun to the table, especially with, you know.
It's gotta be different.
So it's definitely gonna be something where it's gonna be coming. I would say later on in the year because we're already packed with sessions.
Sure.
Booked with guests, but I do have some fun ideas that we're gonna do, and I think it's gonna be. Something you definitely want to keep an eye out for because, and you know, so Nick, you know, you definitely gotta, you know, make sure, you know, when I message you, you know, you gotta, you know, make sure you see it, and Rob, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun. It might be a stream just dedicated to that, honestly. So
there you go. And you know, it's interesting because I messaged Rob and I said, you know, I've had that torch for such a long time.
Yeah.
It's time.
You did.
You had it for like 2 years.
I had it for a long time. So I said, you know, I'm passing on the torch. Here you go. I'm happy. Rob's a great friend.
We'll probably have a ceremony. You know, we'll try to do.
What you guys should do, you should make like not a real torch. You should make like a.
I was just thinking of it in my head.
That's a good idea, Nick.
And you can write like hot seat winner on it or something. So Mara Memphis, and this is what we talked about more, but how did the closer affect your channel?
Like with quarantine and COVID closure?
I think
how did
I actually don't know now. I was thinking about like the break you guys had, but
maybe the closure. How did it? Okay. Oh, I get it. The close. Like, how did the closure taking a break? How did it? Okay, that's a good question, and this is going to be good for you too, Nick, and everybody that's watching. It affected our channel in big ways. One, our viewership dropped. We were still gaining subs because, you know, some of our more popular videos were still being viewed, like the SeaWorld, the Walt Disney video, and some of the other videos. And believe it or not, some really good things happened also as well. You know, like our pregnancy video announcement from the Disney one got picked up at Disney. Disney picked it up for D23, and they played it at D23 last year. And we were on our break, so you know we weren't even thinking about it, but they still messaged us about playing our video at D23. And so what happened is that our viewership went down. That being said, we got demonetized. So, you know, remember, you know, you have to have a certain so many hours to be able to be monetized. Now, we're not in it for the money. No. We're not in it for any of that, but it does affect other things as far as maybe now we can't do memberships, you know, super chats and things like that. But that was the only big negative, but it didn't really stop us producing great content. Right. But if you're in this to, you know, have a little bit of, you know, you want to get, you know, Google AdSense and all that kind of stuff. If you take time off, it's going to affect you. And unfortunately, your channel will feel it when it comes to monetization.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of super chats, Pete McDevitt, he's awesome, sent a $2 super sticker. It doesn't let me see the design on the thing, but it's
what's a super sticker?
It's the stickers on here, and they put a sticker.
So it's like, you know, GIFs or GIFs, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That, but it's in a super chat, and he sent.
Let me see if I put
somebody gave a thumbs up, and he wrote a comment with it too. He said, Funds for Nick's haircut coming out of quarantine. All my close friends endorse Viapree project. I encourage all to subscribe and check them out. Pete, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And let me see. I know there's a lot more questions here. Samara asked a good question. How do you find my channel?
Oh,
Gosh, I can't even
that's
remember.
good.
You've always been a part of us.
Huh?
I know the answer.
Okay, let me hear your answer. Let me see if it lines up with mine.
Okay, so I think it was like we both found each other. I don't know if it was one found the other, but it was through another channel. Yeah, we found each other through BR Fam TV.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yes, exactly, Nick. I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if you thought, but it was BR Fam TV. We're on his stream, and Nick was. Oh, you know, Nick was there before we were.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and I remember coming onto a chat with BR Fam and Joey and them, and we were just talking, just a fun time. And and I remember we just start, you know, that's the great thing about the chats. This is how you meet people in the community. And we met each other in the chat, and then from there we subscribed to each other's channel, and we would support each other just back and forth. And then now, look at us now.
Here we are.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, BR Fam.
You've just always been a part of us, Nick.
And Disney Fan 65 says, in regards to their channel, how do they manage time? How do they manage time management the best with their channel and important family balance?
That's
a big deal for me.
Good. That's
a huge deal for me. Towards the end of our last run, I started getting very frustrated with YouTube because it like I said, it consumed us. We were always doing YouTube and we didn't have time for family life balance. And so I told him, if we're going to do this again, we have to make sure that this doesn't consume our life because, you know, I want my time, but yet I still want to give to the community too. So like I said, it goes back to our question, why are we doing YouTube? What's our goal? What do we want to give back to the community? And we only do ideas that fit that why. And then I love what he did with Hangouts, how we have now all these ideas, but it's under one umbrella and it's only on Tuesday nights. And so we know Tuesday nights are Hangouts, Saturday nights every other month, the one time is sessions. And then our whole time opened up. And so it's really working for us.
That's awesome.
Keeping our ideas under the umbrella of Hangouts.
I think in the beginning, you know, most people would say, well, you know, you have all these show ideas. Why don't you just have that show, like, you know, continue every week with a show or something like that? Because that's not our dynamic as a family.
Sure.
So for us, you know, and honestly, you know, maybe we're hoping these shows are good, but if they're not the best, or if it's not aligning up to our vision, you know, it doesn't mean that we have to stick around with them. And that's the great thing about a YouTube channel. It's our channel. We make sure we can do what we want.
You can't tell us what to do.
So, you know,
you can, because if you don't watch it, then
yeah, but you know, but that's I would say that's how it is for us, is that family is our number one value, 100%. If I start seeing our children starting to affect them, we, you know, no offense, but my family comes first before YouTube.
Oh yeah.
So it's just the way it is. But our kids enjoy it because we make sure we involve them in certain things, and the balance is healthy. And you know, and she will be the one that tells me if it's not healthy. You know, but
right away.
Yeah.
Nope. Too much YouTube. More family time, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob Fuzz asked, very good question, when does the Lego show start?
That's great. Good question. It starts Tuesday. Yes, our
Next
Lego
week?
Yeah, our Lego show starts Tuesday. This morning I was already up making some stuff. Not Legos, not making stuff for Legos.
No, we did that last night.
We did that last night. But we're making you know, I like to theme things out, you know, and as you can see, Nick, like you theme your channel, you theme your thumbnails, you theme your graphics, like, you know, so I like to theme out everything that we do. So it does take time. So I would work on that during the day.
Absolutely. Just to give you a little mystery, right behind us, you can't see them, are all the Lego sets.
All of them.
Most of them.
That's awesome.
Right behind them. We're not going to let you see it.
And I know we touched on this at the beginning, but for those who just joined in, Tina asked, what do your kids think about being on YouTube?
Jordan loves YouTube. She wants to be a YouTuber. But when we give her the limelight or the spotlight,
Yes.
she gets very shy.
Oh, she shuts down.
So she doesn't. She wants to do it because that's all that's in her.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to coach her along to to give her the confidence to know that to talk to a camera. You get nervous. You get
Just to give you an example, I am one of the children's pastors at our church, and so we did a virtual kids choir for Mother's Day. And all the kids did a song and they recorded it and they sent it to our music department and they put them all together to make a video, right? Well, being the kids' children's pastor and the choir director, I'm like, Jordan, you have to do this. You don't have a choice. We literally had to put her in a room after a World War III battle in the house. We had to put her in the couch, get her all set up, and then we had to leave just to get her to do this video. So she really has this.
Yeah.
But she wants to do it so bad.
She wants to do so bad. Evan is just crazy. Okay. Evan is just.
He's 3.
He's 3.
And a boy.
He if you ever watched Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
Okay.
He's our Stitch.
He is Stitch. Like I call him Stitch, and he likes when we call him Stitch.
Yes,
he is just.
It's funny.
Just everywhere. So he's in our videos just because he's just gonna pop up.
Yeah.
He's just
he breaks things and he gets angry and he's crazy, but then he loves you so much because of Hannah, his family.
Yeah.
So he's our Stitch.
And Donna had a very good question. She said, I would love to hear more about the inspiration for Ed and Mindy behind moments.
She loves that channel.
Thank you. So we do have another channel.
Yes.
And we that channel that has been in the development for actually a long time. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even based on a channel, it was just based on who we are.
Right.
And it is a channel based on our faith. And we just talk about our experiences there and stories and things that have happened in our life based on God. So we decided to have a channel just focus on that and bring people into also share their stories as well. So the funny thing is that has been probably part of the conception of the Viapree project, but we haven't never really stepped into it until now.
Absolutely.
Like he said, we had a lot of things happen to us in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of good and a lot of not so good. But, God for us was always there. And so we just wanted to make sure to share it.
Absolutely. And we're going to try to get to as many questions as we can.
Yeah. This is hot seat for us.
Going back to the why behind your channel, if launching a new edition that aligns 100% to the why, but is not received well, what is the decision process and how long to stay with it?
It's a good question.
Very good question, Rob. I would say, we're always, like you said, we're always reevaluating where we're at. So I would say for us, we would have to keep. We'd
have to see the trend. If the trend goes down and down every week, then we would start to reevaluate. But if we see it's either plateauing or we're growing, so maybe we'd leave it on for a little while longer.
I think that's a good way to look at it. Because you can't expect something you start right away
to take off.
Just take off immediately. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have to look at it like, is this the long haul or is this just I'm just trying to ride a fad or I'm just trying to ride a trend?
Sure.
So like Lego for us, I would say is going to be a long haul show for us. So I think just because we've realized how important it is in our life.
We love Lego.
We love it. So I think that we will definitely keep that going. And even if it does dip some way, I think we will still push it because we enjoy it that much. Now, other things like, we're like getting into the Disney pins. We love Disney pins and learning. We love the parks and stuff like that. So more of those are more educational purpose driven shows. So I think those could stay around because we're not the ones that are really producing the content.
Right.
We're really more facilitating and asking the questions to learn things. Where in the Lego one, we're kind of doing a little bit of both.
Absolutely. Let's see. I know that they have a few more questions in here. This is a good question. Avery said, "What is the first thing they would do if they were Disney executives?"
Ah,
What was it? What was it?
What is the
First thing we would do if we were
Disney executives?
Oh, man,
Avery
be coming out with these questions. Man, the first thing. What would
Don't
you do?
ask me. I have no idea what I would do. I have no idea.
Oh man, honestly, this actually sets us up for some of the things we actually
all
have.
our friends and family.
We have a stream. We have a stream coming up later on today. We're going to be talking about the parks with Disney Dan, and some changes and expansions. So I would definitely put some expansions to the parks if I can. I would definitely have some ideas that I think are really cool that we would work on to just kind of enhance the parks just a little bit. What else? I mean, really, as executives, I don't know. I'll give everybody a raise.
There you go.
I'll give everybody a raise. I would. Everybody,
would.
I'll give.
And I would support it.
There you go. Absolutely. Thomas ever after Daphne said,
"Hey, Daphne's on."
Here's a question: when Disney reopens, would you be down for a meetup? Nick, Rob, and Donna would have to be there too.
Totes.
Come on, Daphne. You know that.
We
know. you if we're doing this, I'm gonna call you. We're gonna message you, and we're gonna go on the website, get you a plane ticket, and we're gonna put it all together so that Daphne, of course, 100%.
And AJC Magic TV became a member. Thank you so much.
Hey, welcome.
We really do appreciate that and the support. Let's see. Alyssa and Neil, Disney family, welcome, Alyssa and Neil. They said, what do you think about Nick interviewing YouTube streamers? What value do you think these interviews have for you? So I guess what they're asking is, what does this give to you as a channel?
Well, I mean, the value to us is just we're talking with you, Nick, and it's not to me. It's just this we're a community and family and networking, but the value is just being on each other's streams. We're not looking for anything in return from Nick, But if anything, it's just that we haven't got a chance to even speak to Nick in such a long time to actually spend this about an hour to talk with Nick. Also, the value is that I get to see your progression and talk and see how far you've come. Nick, I knew you before you were 1,000 subscribers. I know where you've come from. So for me being here, it's almost like a reunion. Honestly,
you're like a mama bear.
It's a reunion for me to be here because you're incredible, and so that's what it is for us.
Absolutely, for sure. And I know there was one more question that I did want to wait for because I know it's kind of like a longer question. Let me see if I can get it back. I know it was about your shows, sessions, and hangouts, but I know it's here somewhere. And of course, let me see. Hold on. Let me go back. Here we go. Miss G said, can they talk a little bit about Sessions Hangout? What is it for those new subscribers? I'm a little lost.
Okay. You want me to do it or you want to do it?
I can do Hangouts.
Okay.
You can do Sessions.
Okay, you go ahead.
All right. So Hangouts is every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
9 p.m. What?
9 p.m. Just kidding. I lied. I think it's a dream of mine to go at 7 because I'm not a night owl.
9 p.m.?
Don't listen to me, Miss G. I still need a nap. It's at 9 p.m.
Eastern time.
Eastern time. Yeah, we're in Florida, obviously. We have rotating shows. It's all under the name of Hangouts. We have a game night that we play. We bring someone onto our stream and we play games with them. Usually the game has been Blank Slate, a game that we have here because it's really easy to do in the virtual world. I'm going to try to start thinking of some new games because it's kind of my baby. I'm going to start thinking of some new games that we can play just to rotate game night a little bit, but we do game nights, a lot of fun. You should check it out when we do it because we laugh a lot. And then, like we were saying, we love to learn. And so we have several themed shows on Hangouts that are things that we're interested in learning about within the Disney community and within Legos. So we have our Lego Talk Live, which will be next Tuesday as our first one. That is going to showcase our love of Legos, the things that we do here as a family. But also we want to learn more about that because we watched Lego Masters and realized, wow, there's more to Lego than we really thought.
Sure.
So we'll bring people in that we know within the community love Lego like we do and are more advanced in what they know than we are. And the same with our Disney parks. themed shows for Hangouts, and
yeah. So our Disney parks are.
Yeah.
So our Disney park shows, so we have 2 shows that we're going to be focusing on. One is going to be the food side of Disney and the resort side of Disney.
Right.
So, the food side, we all love Disney food.
Yeah.
So we want to learn more about the Disney food. We don't adventure as much as people think we do as far as Disney food. So when we watch all these channels, Disney Dan, who else is there? There's Resort TV 1, all these different people that have food things, and I'm like, oh, where did you get that? I don't know where to go that, because we're all a creature of habit. Then we have a resorts stream, which is going to be talking more about the Disney resorts themselves, not the parks, but the hotels and other things you can do at Disney besides going to a park.
Right.
So that's going to be something we're going to be talking about as well.
So that's pretty much what Hangouts is.
Absolutely.
And then, like we said before, we really try to interact with the chat more.
Right.
On Hangouts.
Now, sessions is bi-monthly. So every other month we have sessions. Now, this is the baby right here.
Oh.
So sessions. Sessions is our professional produced show.
Yes.
That show, we pick a person in our community. We highlight their channel completely for the hour.
All about you.
And it's just an interview, very much what we're doing here with Nick. But we just kind of we spend a little bit more as far as production value to it. And it's a different type of organization of the show. So, but that's what I would say we were known for is sessions.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people like your sessions, and also Hangouts. It's more of, if you will, a laid back show, which is awesome. But I know we could talk for hours, and we could talk for hours, but Ed and Mindy, I want to thank you guys very much for coming on. And I will talk to you first of all, before I send you guys backstage, do you have any questions, comments, feedback, anything you'd like to say to everybody watching before we wrap up the show?
I would just say a couple things. One, I wanted to say, Nick, thank you.
Yes.
Nick, you just this is incredible. I think you've tapped into something that is going to really take off because of just the way you are and what you do and what you bring to community. I think it's just going to be a true magnet of what you do. So continue to do what you're doing, sir. I want to say also thank you. I want to say thank you to our partner channels, like Rob Fuzz, Disney Resort TV 1, Disney Dan, and Road Trip Dave. We have a great group of amazing channels that we're associated with, and we're always in communication, supporting each other. Even Resort TV 1, even how big they are, and they're getting ready to hit 100,000 subscribers. But that Josh and Jenna care about us as a community, us as a network, you, Nick, So I just want to say thank you for everybody, Daphne, all of our supporters. Like, we really appreciate and we feel the love of our community. So I just want to say thank you.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, and I will talk to you guys in just a few minutes.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right, everybody. So that was so awesome. Thank you so much to Ed and Mindy for coming on today. If you guys have not already, please go check out Ed and Mindy over at the Viapree Project. If the moderator would like to post their links, please feel free to do so. I know they have Moments and as well as Viapree Project, so feel free to post all the links, moderators. Thank you so much to everybody who joined today and was part of this stream. I'm glad our connection stuck through and all of that exciting stuff. And be sure to join next week at same time, same place, 3:30 p.m. Eastern next Saturday, as we have a brand new YouTuber to interview and get to know them a little better. We're already in the process of scheduling more guests and getting more people rocking and rolling on this show, and it's really awesome. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, as always, please feel free to message me. I also want to thank our channel members. Our channel members are awesome, and we really appreciate their support. And thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Be sure to go catch Ed and Mindy tonight. I believe it's 7 p.m. Eastern at Disney Dan's channel, DIZNEYDAN. He's going to have a fun Disney Fiasco stream. So be sure, if you want to watch more of Ed and Mindy, go check them out at 7 p.m. tonight. And be sure to go subscribe to them as well. Hangouts every Tuesday at 9 p.m. and Sessions happens once a month on Saturdays as well. That's all for now. Remember, one little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Hakuna Matata, and I will talk to you guys next week at 3:30 for a brand new interview.